Now, do I have approval of the tentative agenda?
So move.
Second that.
I have a motion and a second to approve the agenda. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Minutes of the last regular meeting, please.
May 18th, 2026, Chairperson Bosch called the regular meeting of the Wright County Board of Supervisors to order at 9:02 a.m. Members present were Clues, Rasmussen, Bosch, and Luke, with Ellis present via Zoom or not. We were actually here.
No, she was on Zoom.
I was Zoom.
You
Yeah.
were in Zoom.
Yeah,
I was Zoom.
she had a baby she was holding, remember?
Okay. Motion by Clues and second by Rasmussen to approve the tentative agenda. Motion carries. Minutes of the previous regular meeting of May 4th, 2026 were read. That's. See, it's been long. So that should be a letter. Approved claims for payment. Amanda Meyer, Wright County Auditor, discussed the use of general basic funds and marketing. Meyer stated she questioned a claim that has come through for meals for individuals that are not county employees, which was coded for payment out of general basic. There was discussion regarding the marketing fund and the information received from the auditing firm. Aaron Fudwick, Wright County Economic Development Director, cited Iowa Code Section 15A.1 and stated that the elected officials are overreaching from their duties. Booth stated that the Iowa Code should be clear enough that a common person should be able to read it and understand it. Ellis stated that the auditor and the Board of Supervisors' duty is to be fiscally responsible with county dollars, and this is one of them. Luke would like to have the county attorney present next week to hear his opinion. Motion by Ellis and second by Bosch to table the agenda item for 2 weeks to get clarification. Motion dies for lack of majority vote. Motion by Luke and second by Clues to table it to next week and have the county attorney attend the next meeting. Motion carries. Went into recess at 9:35 a.m. Came back into session at 10:04 a.m. Peggy Schlutenhofer, Wright County Treasurer, presented the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Drainage Assessment for abatement. Schlutenhofer received a letter in May for the past 2 years of assessments that totals $704.88 and admin fees of $270. Motion by Clues and second by Rasmussen to deny the abatement of those assessments. Motion carries with Bosch and Ellis voting nay. Motion by Clues and second by Rasmussen to appoint the chairperson to sign firework permits prior to the Board of Supervisors meeting and chairperson pro tem when chairperson is not available. Motion carries. Adam Clemens, Wright County Engineer, presented a posting for patrol operator in either Eagle Grove or Clarion Shed. There has been a few internal position changes that has left a patrol operator position vacant. Motion by Rasmussen and second by Luce to post for the patrol operator position. Motion carries. Motion by Rasmussen, second by Luce to adjourn the meeting. Motion carries.
Any additional corrections?
Just the date.
Okay, they will stand approved as corrected then. Claims have been around. Open forum for public input. Okay. Item number 5, discuss and take possible action on use of general basic fund versus marketing fund. Consider the resolution 2026-17 for Wright County Economic Development Budget and distinguish the use of general basic, general supplemental, and marketing funds.
So I had left also a voicemail with Elizabeth from our auditing firm. And I sent what I could to Eric. And I can read that to you if you like. I just got off the phone with Elizabeth. She is at continuing education and is getting back to me for yesterday's email. She stated ultimately it is up to the Board of Supervisors to determine a public purpose policy if they are going to pay for meals that are not county employees out of the general basic taxpayer dollars. Typically, these meals that get paid from general basic are for meals when you are away from work, not to take others out to eat, and reiterated that the meals are for county employees. She also asked, should the county really be diverting taxpayer dollars for these? I also asked Aaron for who the meals were for, and he would not give them to Joan. I asked Elizabeth about this, and she stated that all meals have to be verified for. Ultimately, when the elected officials go to ISAC and get meals paid for, they have to show why they were getting the meal paid for. For this instance, she can't see why these meals would be paid for out of general basic. And ultimately, she asked what the public purpose is. Can you guys answer that? What is the public purpose for this?
Economic development or developing relationships with clients that possibly could bring business into the county. Not unusual for that type of activity to take take place during a lunch hour, or even for that matter, during a supper hour, if that person is not available throughout the day. I guess that would be my answer.
I think there needs to be clarification, Amanda. When Joan asked me, we told her exactly who was in attendance of those two different events. The three chamber directors and the new owner of the Wright County Independent. So your statement, I think was misread because I didn't withhold any information from Joan on that claim.
I'll have a discussion with Joe about that.
Hmm.
Ultimately, we want to hear from our county attorney on his opinion on, 15A1, seems very subjective to me.
That's a fair assessment. So I think there are a couple of principles involved here. First is just that generally speaking, public funds are not to be used for private benefit. That's part of our state constitution, which is pretty clearly outlined there. Again, that's a pretty broad statement. It doesn't tell you a whole heck of a lot. Iowa Code Chapter 15A on economic development, specifically, the legislature has said that economic development is considered a public purpose, and so to the extent that funds may be used for private benefit, if they are still serving a public purpose, they could still be used for that reason. So in other words, just because something is creates a private benefit, for example, paying for a meal for something for someone else that's not an employee, that necessarily doesn't mean it's illegal, as long as it's still serving a public purpose that is determined to be significant enough to warrant that. There isn't really any appellate case law that has fleshed out what 15A or generally that chapter or 15A1, what that means. There are a couple of Iowa Attorney General opinions that discuss it in some, again, kind of broad language, and they tend to defer to the governing body to decide what's a public purpose and what's not. I think the legislature made it clear that economic development is a public purpose, and so to the extent that things are being public funds are being used for economic development purposes, they can be used for that purpose. The question I think then is, in the way that the statute reads is, I think the board as the monitor of those funds, accounting funds in that particular area, has to make a determination as to what what you think those funds can be used for, what specific activities can be used to promote economic development. So for example, if you were to, these are kind of extreme examples, but at least one would be, for example, if someone decided a local business was going to go under, and that in order to retain that local business, if the county was going to give that business $1 million, that would arguably retain that business, which is one of the purposes of a economic development policy, but would seem to me at least to be clearly outside the bounds of what would be expected for public versus private benefit there. So the question really is I think that what the board has to decide is what types of activities, what sort of expenditures are still promoting economic development, which is a public purpose, without going too far in terms of the private benefit that might otherwise be derived by someone else outside that. The statute in particular has some factors in there that they want any kind of public body to look at when they're determining what that public purpose that satisfies that would be, and that includes things like which gains and benefits are warranted in comparison to the amount of the funds to spend. So I think what that means, for example, is basically that if there are public monies being used to support economic development, the question is, and they may be for a private benefit, is that use of those funds sufficient enough in terms of the way it's promoting a public purpose or promoting economic development to justify the fact that it's also providing a private benefit to someone. That's an ambiguous answer. I know, I'm sorry. I wish I had. I think the bottom line is, from the way I read the statute, and to the extent there isn't any authority out there on it, is it's ultimately the board's decision to decide what type of activities promote economic development, because economic development is a public purpose. And so that be accomplished in different ways. One, I think probably the most, probably the broadest way is to have some kind of resolution that tries to describe, or policy that tries to describe, here are the parameters of what we think, what type of activities, what type of things we can support that may result in a private benefit, but also have enough of a significant public benefit to it that outweighs the fact that some of those monies are used for private benefits. And so like I said, like one example I said would be one, but you could certainly have a very broad policy like that. But the question is going to be in any particular activity that the economic development director undertakes, you know, you're gonna have to micromanage those every decision. I think that's part of what the auditor would be doing, be looking at that policy to try to determine, or that resolution, and say it doesn't fit within what the board has decided is appropriate or not in that circumstance. So I don't know if that's a question that may need some more digging into to try to figure out what those parameters should be, or if the board feels comfortable with, or I haven't looked at the resolutions for the board specifically, but that would be the overall framework, I think. And again, I know that's not a very clean black and white answer. I don't think there is one on this particular question. The legislature has done two things. They said economic development is a public purpose, so public funds can be used even if they result in private benefit. But if that is happening, there has to be a determination made by the local authority, in this case, the county board of supervisors, as to what type of activities justify the expenditure of money on for private benefit. And that justification should be something that allows for some kind of public benefit, is either outweighing that private benefit, or at least is substantial enough that it justifies the fact that private benefit is occurring. That's a real long-winded way of saying, you know, it's a little.
So Eric, so you make, use the term board frequently in this, in your interpretation, and thank you for coming. So for my clarification, the Board of Supervisors has duly appointed the Wright County Economic Development Commission. Are you meaning commission or board? Because the commission has day-to-day operations oversight of the Wright County Economic Development Department. So if you could give clarity to that, I think that adds into this whole conversation. Is yes, I would totally agree. The Board of Supervisors ultimately have jurisdiction over the county and its funds. I will not disagree with that. But when the board is appointed through the process that they've set forth, I'm a little confused when you use the term board as this, the board has that, in this particular case.
That's a very good question. I think the statute 15A answers that question. So the way 15A sub 1, sub 2 says is, when those funds to be used, there should be a determination made by someone as to whether or not that was satisfied public purpose. That says specifically those someones are the governing body of the state, city, county, or other public body dispensing those funds, or the governing body's designee shall determine that public purpose. So I think the way I read that is, if the county has designated as the governing body someone else to make those decisions, or to how to dispense those funds, it would be whatever that designee was. If there isn't someone that's been designated in that role, then the county board of supervisors would still be the one that would make that decision. I guess I don't know what that structure is as far as the commission versus the board of supervisors and how that's been determined. So,
and so when I read 15.1 and 0.1 and 0.2, I see that the board of supervisors feels that economic development is a public purpose. They agree with the statute as it's written. Because we have designated a commission or a board to oversee that. And we have approved the hiring, which was a recommendation by the board of our economic development director. And so to me, the board's direction has been, that the marketing funds shall be used for, I guess lack of a better term, to catch the big fish. For the big project that is available. And that in day-to-day operations and meetings that Aaron has, which I've seen no abuse and there's no indication of abuse, there's no allegations of abuse, in this instance that, that they have directed him to use the general fund for coding those items.
So I think to the extent that the Board of Supervisors has delegated that responsibility to the commission. And I don't know, I just personally, I don't know how that delegation's occurred. As as you're describing it, that has occurred that way. Then I think that commission probably makes that decision because the board, but it's ultimately the board's decision in some respects because you've delegated to someone else.
Right.
To make that decision on their behalf. And so that would be, I think, with a couple of alternatives, which would be to continue to allow that delegation to occur, or if you chose to change the nature of that delegation in some way, you could certainly presumably do that.
I don't know if they've
Question.
been delegated or if they've been appointed to the commission. And I think there's a difference there. Ultimately, the Board of Supervisors are responsible for property tax dollars. And that ultimately general basic fund is all property tax dollars. Those funds in there, we need to follow our government accounting practices, follow the employee handbook, follow all of the structure for taxpayer dollars. We have to be fiscally responsible. The Economic Development Commission is is designed to bring ideas, bring new businesses to Wright County. There's, like Dean said, they made a recommendation on the hiring of a new economic development director. They bring in ideas for leads to the economic development director. But ultimately, this Board of Supervisors has to be responsible for dollars spent out of the general basic fund. Thus, back in 1999, a marketing fund was designed. And this marketing fund was for these items that are not generally government paid expenses, for meals, taking people out. If it is something that, and this is, that's kind of my general comment, but is it, if Peggy was to have somebody, there's an empty building out on Main Street, and a friend of hers is looking to open up a business, and they come and look at the building, and Peggy goes out and shows them the building, and she takes them out to eat over the lunch hour. Can she pay for that out of general basic? Is this limited only to Economic Development Department? Or is bringing in new people, somebody she knows, to a building that's vacant and, goes through the building with them, talks, shakes hands, discusses it? Is that economic development? And is that a public purpose?
I would hope that you would have gone through the economic development director and brought that lead to.
That's
that
not my
department.
question. That was not my question. My question was, is that economic development, and is that an allowable expense? And
In Peggy's.
And
in
would she-
Peggy's-
and
in
would she
Peggy's-
have to
in-
reveal-
No, I would say it's not.
And would she have to reveal the name of that person on the claim that she submits?
I don't think that that claim would be valid for her to submit. That's not her job. She's an elected official as the treasurer. I would hope that she would bring that lead, that potential client to the economic development or the board's representative, myself, and say, hey, this is the person that I would like Aaron to get in contact with, and this is what they're interested in. And just as I would expect, Aaron, if somebody came in with a treasure type question, I would expect him to direct that person to the treasurer's office rather than to attempt to give the treasurer's answer, or the recorder, or the auditor, or the assessor.
What has changed between the marketing plan of 2 years ago to the marketing plan today?
Aaron is on board.
I can't, Benny, if that question is directed towards me, your overall marketing plan that has been established since my being here, taking the helm January 1st, really hasn't changed. It's the interpretation of how people are reading the 2025 document versus the new updated refresh document of today. The core principle, the core conversation here today is economic development, public, using public funds, public tax dollars, legal or not legal. And if it's not legal, but the Board of Supervisors want to see a better counting and or they want to be more included on these events, that's very doable. We make a policy and outline exactly what it is that you want to see on the claim and so forth. That's twice now in this particular meeting, there was reference made of withholding names. For the record, I have nothing to withhold, absolutely nothing. And I don't know why it's like, maybe we're trying to hide something. That's absolutely not. So those are the key things here. Is it legal or not legal? Clearly, if I understand the county attorney, section 15A.1, it is legal to use tax dollars for public purpose of economic development. Number 2, the Board of Supervisors has duly designated a board of directors. If we need to outline and create a job description for those board of directors, apologies, commission, then let's do it. Let's do it. Because there's clearly a difference of opinion on what that commission should or should not be doing. And I feel like I've inherited just kind of a little hornet's nest here. I'm willing to put in the time and the effort. The last thing that I'm gonna say, because I clearly outlined it in my email Sunday night, and if you haven't seen it, there's copies of it there. The operational restrictions of the fund. You know, I look at myself, I'm not purposely spending money for anybody's personal benefit. I'm doing it for the benefit of the county and creating relationships and moving this county forward. So I hope that we can all move forward for this. If we need to have a joint session between the Economic Development Commission and the supervisors and call it a work session, let's do it. Let's get it on the agenda sooner than later, because this back and forth for everybody is time consuming, it's exhausting. And I think we have very important things to be looking at. So I welcome that opportunity to have more collaboration and set very strict, not strict, but open guidelines and understanding. Maybe this is an opportunity to have that new fresh start. I don't know, but I like to talk sometimes, that's what Lynn has told me.
How much is in that marketing fund?
I can get that information if you wanna hold tight, I didn't come prepared to talk about that.
About 90,000.
90,000. Does that accrue interest every year? And how much do you spend on meals? Typically, like $1,000 or so?
In the last 6 months, I put in a claim for myself for $124.
So the interest on that marketing fund should be able to offset the meals that you're buying, correct?
In this last particular quarter, that would be a fair statement, but I can't speak educatedly of what's gonna happen in the future. I would hope that my role and responsibility along with a different team player, the commission, that we would be doing more. Realizing that this county, prior to me coming, has never documented what they call a BRE, Business Retention Expansion, formal visits. That has been non-existent in the county of all the communities. Look, so, and if you don't understand what those are these key meetings to avert possible closing of a business, whether it be retail, or finding out that a particular business, needs to expand. So I'm hoping that we're doing a lot more of that. It's been a while, now, so I can't speak educatedly as to how much more that's gonna be, Ashley.
Okay, so Italics Boutique just closed on Main Street. Did you do anything about that?
What's that?
Italics Boutique
That's right over here.
just closed on Main Street.
Correct?
Black Dahlia closed.
I wasn't here when that occurred.
Was that just last? Cause they had two,
He just
They had-
explained to you that the county has never had, business, had these type of meetings to find out what do you need to stay
well, the
open.
CDA should have been aware of that. And doesn't he go to the CDA meetings?
And who did he meet with?
Who did he meet with at the CDA meetings?
We're
Because
really
they
getting
should be
down
aware.
into the weeds here, and I welcome this conversation. And if you really wanna get into the weeds, we can.
I mean, it's just a
By
question.
the time I was made aware of any business potentially closing by any group within the county or our cities, it's too late.
They've already made that
It's too
decision.
late for this department to pull out any tricks, magic wand. So that's part of the reason that we had the very first county, group directors meeting. That was the whole goal. What are we doing good? What are we not doing so good? Where do we need to switch gears? What are we duplicating? So that was the very first time that's, according to Kim, in her existence here, has ever happened. To me, these are baby steps, and that's public purpose, retention, and we're making strides there. But I welcome more questions, if I can get the answers quickly for you.
My other question is, of that $90,000, what's your plan with that? That's a lot of money. I mean, what do you use that money for to get people to come here?
Well,
Like, was this used when Prestige came here? Was the marketing fund used when Prestige came here? I mean, what's that money gonna be used for? It's $90,000 collecting interest and not getting used at all.
if I was made aware, that there is a company that wants to relocate from South Africa. And part of that would be a 19-hour plane trip. I do not have it in the regular budget to support any of that type of activity. Bringing people to the United States, going through customs, these types of things. So that is,
If I can interrupt, when you guys went to Denmark,
I didn't go to that.
what fund was that used?
Marketing fund.
That was used, okay. Gotcha.
So that would be a very hypothetical case.
Again, that's my big fish that I refer to.
Mhm.
So this year, we are planning on attending the Wright County Fair, having more of a presence of our department. It's in the planning stages. I don't intend to use general funds for that particular project. That would be more of a marketing, external marketing. I've never been to the wonderful Wright County Fair, so I don't know what to expect, what type of traffic. But maybe, just maybe, there's somebody that comes through that venue that may spark some interest. So that to me is a marketing opportunity. Other things that we were looking, I did write a grant to update our digital marketing position for the county, which needs opportunity to improve. We did not get the grant. I need some seed money of $13,000. But I'm prepared to write more grants to see if I can use the money that's needed for that particular program. So I need to prioritize. It could easily be taken out of the marketing and go to the commission and get approval. I want to be respectful of the people that participate into that investment, those dollars, and how they're being used. I don't take it very lightly, and part of marketing to a global, as we now are looking for someone to market our business park down south of Eagle Grove, there could be some monies involved there. So when you start doing with site selectors, which is somebody that is very proficient, very educated, very good at moving properties such as ours and getting certified, just to get a site certified is close to $70,000. Just to get a site certified, which means it's ready, shovel ready, it's got every box checked. Do I want to spend our whole fund to get that site certified? I think we need to evaluate. So $90,000 just sounds like a lot of money. That would be a lot of money in my checking account. But in this particular, as we're dealing with the whole county, we have 8 cities, that is not so much money, in my opinion.
So ultimately, this whole thing is to tell me what to do. I mean, he had a claim come through, it came out of general basic. I didn't feel that it was to be out of general basic, and it's ultimately up to you guys to tell me.
I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution 2026-17, Wright County Economic Development Budget, and distinguish the use of general basic, general supplemental, and marketing fund uses.
Can I say something? I would just like to know if you're meeting with other development alliance committees, you know, somebody from Eagle Grove, somebody from Belmont, somebody from Clarion. Wouldn't that person have their own fund for their own lunches and their own meetings and their own mileages? I'm just curious.
I think so.
But the board would still have the final say in what is spent in that office, correct? I mean, you're saying that you wanna, what I'm getting is that you're kind of wanting the economic commission to be totally in charge. Does that mean
Did you read it?
they can just spend whatever they want and you guys can't say, no, we're not? We're not doing that.
I don't believe that because that commission has never gone to any ISAC meetings, any government accounting meetings. They don't know the difference between general basic, general supplemental marketing.
Right.
They haven't, fund accounting is way different than just general accounting. You know, you're my checkbook, debits and credits. It's the Iowa code specifies what can be paid out of general supplemental. It specifies general basic. And so, I don't feel that board the conservation board, the even.
Public health.
Public health board has that knowledge of allowable uses.
Right, but at the end of the day, if they turned in a claim that you
Ultimately, this
would still have the power
To deny it.
to deny it.
Mhm.
yes.
Okay,
Okay, tell me again what your motion was, Betty.
My motion is to approve resolution 2026-17. Which is,
Do I have a copy of that?
it was emailed to you.
Yeah, I was.
Wright County Economic Development Budget and distinguish the use of general basic, general supplemental and marketing funds. The objective of this resolution is to establish a clear, permanent rule for how Wright County Economic Development Office codes its operational and marketing expenses. This policy draws a sharp line between standard county-funded operations and privately donated marketing funds, ensuring total transparency, protecting investor intent, and maintaining necessary administrative flexibility. Whereas years ago, Wright County Board of Supervisors was instrumental in creating the Wright County Economic Development Commission to assist in furthering economic development in Wright County. Whereas the Wright County Board of Supervisors shall declare economic development as a budget category of the general basic and appropriate into this department funds as deemed necessary and prudent on an annual basis to operate such department. Whereas in 1999, a new fund was established named the Marketing Fund. While the Economic Development Commission is grateful for the financial support of the Wright County Board of Supervisors, those funds are limited to basic operational costs. Whereas it's important to have business partners to engage with Economic Development Department, as it takes the cooperation of everyone to keep Wright County moving forward. The marketing plan and the use of the marketing funds are to increase engagement of all communities with Wright County, develop and build relationships with local area businesses and residents, grow our connection with site selectors and outside leads for business location and expansion projects. Enhance Wright County's overall presence and visibility to our target audiences within the county, our region, and across the globe. Whereas initiatives to address these goals are to attract new businesses, retention of current businesses, and community relationships. Now therefore be it resolved, the general basic fund and general supplemental fund shall be used for everyday to-day operations of the Economic Development Department. This shall follow all general county accounting practices with appropriate documentation using the county chart of accounts and adherence to the Wright County Employee Handbook. The marketing fund consists strictly of private monies donated by community investors throughout Wright County. To avoid over-restricting the county's growth strategies, this fund is designed for recruitment, regional coordination, and future-focused economic development education. It also will be used for marketing campaigns, site selection events, promotional materials, and recruitment efforts aimed at attracting new factories, businesses, and large-scale projects into the county. This fund may be utilized to prepare, facilitate, and host strategic planning or educational meetings designed to build county-wide recruitment strategies. For example, joint meetings with county mayors and local leadership. This fund may also support educational initiatives and marketing programs geared towards the area's younger population to foster long-term economic development, local marketing talent, and future workforce readiness.
Aaron, your input.
My input is it would be something that should be included with the commission. I think this totally changes the structure that we've used historically in the past. It's it's clear that the core purpose of economic development is a public purpose and it is legal. The Attorney General has made an opinion on it. The Supreme Court has wrote articles about it. I'm not a lawyer, won't pretend to be. I've done an amount of work on this, not to flavor one side or the other. I think it's very interesting is we, several weeks ago, sat here and deliberated House File 718, the mandate that was directed towards the county auditors and to the county to send out letters at an extreme cost. And we were very upset. We all were very upset of that mandate that state legislatures made, because we weren't included. We, as a county, many counties weren't included. So let's not set a precedence here in Wright County. Let's get our commission, take a look at this proposed legislation that Betty has brought forward, so that we can make not repeat what we just saw happen with House File 718. I think it's premature that, I think there's a lot of emotion involved, and I don't know all the history, what precipitated this. But it's getting wearing on a lot of individuals. So my recommendation is to bring this to the commission. I feel it's inappropriate to say that our commission is not knowledgeable. And that's what I understood to say out of this room a few minutes ago. That is unfair. We have highly educated, highly degreed, very successful business individuals on this commission, and to make that statement, I think, is unfair.
I think maybe you understood it inaccurately, because I do think that the commission is very good. They have the knowledge and the background, a very diverse background.
And I'm not
And-
arguing the
and
point.
so-
I heard what I heard.
What, so, but the fact is are they educated in fund accounting, in government
Let's-
accounting
let's get educated.
practices? So,
I'll second your motion.
can I continue discussion?
Yeah.
This resolution was taken from the marketing plan.
Mm-hmm.
It says investor benefits. There are a lot of competition among rural Iowa counties that strive to continue their support of local businesses while attracting new businesses and the necessary workforce to their respective areas. It is more important now than ever before to maintain a viable economic development organization that serves the entire Wright County area and assists local communities and development groups. While we are grateful for the financial support of the Wright County Board of Supervisors, but those funds are limited to basic operational costs. All our marketing efforts rely on the financial support of business and industry, as well as local government entities, and it goes on. It talks about the costs and kind of what the budget of the marketing fund is going to be. It's on attraction for promotional marketing materials, site-specific trade shows, site selector visits, prospective client visits. It's on retention visits, Wright County business updates, sponsorships, and community relations, boost the key Facebook ads, and provide local resource seminars. That is what the marketing plan was designed for. And so, like I said, I took the document and made it into a resolution.
So I have a motion and a second. It's a resolution, so we have a roll call vote. Dean,
Nay.
Rick,
Nay.
Ashley votes aye. Lynn,
Nay.
Betty,
Aye.
motion fails. Okay, well, yes, we'll.
What was there was another document that was presented here. Policy number 2026 ED-01.
Has to be put on the agenda.
Okay, but I'm asking what this
I
was.
think Aaron prepared that. Correct, Aaron?
Yes, several weeks ago, actually, I started to prepare it back in January. And I didn't think we would ever be at it. So. Again, this needs to come through the commission. I'm the director. I'm following. I take my marching orders from the commission and from the supervisor. It's hard to answer to 10 people. I'm doing the best I can.
Can you speak on the conservation?
I don't think you want to hear my version of the conservation. It's clearly set in the Code of Iowa law. you guys give us our money, my board decides how to spend it. I'm not gonna jump in and.
But
like
your,
Aaron
your
said,
board is by law.
Our board is by law, I was voted on by the people to have a county conservation board system.
Mm-hmm. But your board doesn't tell you where funds come out of,
It's set forth by the,
Board of Supervisors.
not the board of supervisors,
No.
by the line items in your budget. By the code of Iowa, what you can and can't spend it on, and where it comes from. I just don't have a blank checkbook. I have to verify what fund it's coming out of for accounting purposes,
But you do that,
As
your
does
board
everybody.
doesn't,
as does everybody.
but you do that, your board
Yes.
doesn't tell you.
I just submit my claims to the board for their approval.
And that's what Aaron has attempted to do.
But he submits his claims to us for approval.
Well, so my claims come here, but technically they don't have to. They can go directly to Joan and she can pay them. But they do come through, you
Is that in code too?
know.
Just like mine is in code.
Mm-hmm. But his is not per code.
So Aaron, I think what I'm hearing is you would like to have a meeting between the supervisors and the Economic Development Commission members.
I think it would be very advisable to discuss exactly what's all being discussed here. I'm the director. I will do what I'm told. I just want to make sure that we're going through a quantitative process, that we've already set guidelines, that we have a commission. You guys approved the budget, you approved my hiring. Let's do this the right way. It's not like, this has been going on, I think, for a long time before I came on board.
And I can sense your frustration, and I appreciate that. And I think, the frustration that I have is that Iowa code clearly says that economic development is for public purpose. And, general basic funds can be used clearly for a public purpose. And
Thank you.
so hence why is this claim not being paid?
That's correct.
That's my frustration. And although not a voting member of the Wright County Economic Development Commission, I am the board's representative on that board. But a non-voting member.
My frustration is, since you're stating your frustration, is that 24 years of being the Wright County Auditor, 2 years for Amanda, and working with the state auditor's office, working with our external auditors, and the direction that they've always given us, going to all my auditor schools and having the resources of 98 other county auditors, and how they specifically, Wright County is different, because there's only maybe 9, 10 counties in the state of Iowa that has economic development. So we are very unique in that matter. Most of them maybe have 28Es or work with other like city economic development, private economic development. And I just don't want to see coming down the road where we have to start making cuts with House File 718 and the new legislation that Governor Reynolds just stated, that we're spending money and it's hard to justify the return on that money spent. There's no black and white, but anytime you have community relations, I agree, it's a good thing. I do believe Aaron is doing a fabulous job. He's keeping communication open with all the departments, with the cities and with the mayors and councils, the CDAs. It's a great thing to do. I don't have a problem with that. I feel that it needs to be coming out of the marketing fund. I don't want to ask our other departments to have to make another 2% cut next year. And then see these expenditures going through. Marketing fund is what it's for. Eric has
That
conservation.
statement implies that economic development didn't show a 2% decrease in their budget also. I think you'll find that across the board, we asked all of the departments
We
to do
did,
that.
and
yes.
economic development did also, but there was also a structure change there, so it
Right.
made a big difference.
Right.
But like I said, of the combined 26 years of experience, and knowing how Cindy Litweiler and how, Bryce Davis spent the marketing funds, I went through all of those years to see how the marketing fund was spent. This resolution specifies how that was spent.
It changed to our last director. That's when it changed.
Correct.
Pardon me,
It turned with our last director. That's when it all turned. To the new structure on how it was spent. They have been studying out of marketing. All the meals have been out of marketing.
they have in the past.
Yes,
Up until Daryl Steven. It all switched,
yes.
And that's been, what, 4 years?
but it's been a fight, yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
Ashley, I have one of the board members here, if you would have questions, this is Kate Garner, she's, works with Prairie Energy, if you have questions. I do not solicit any of my board members to attend. They were carbon copied on the email that I sent you over the weekend, and she came, do you have any questions for a board member of the, economic development? And then also, if you have questions for, Kim Demery, our marketing specialist, who really is the author of some of these marketing documents, they have the institution, she has the institutional knowledge. I'm not trying to drag this on, I know we all got, things to do, but this is where I do believe that you need to have this conversation. 4 years of this back and forth is, you need to come to a resolution and put an end to the emotional differences of opinion.
Well, I think that if you get the Board of Supervisors and your commission together, then for a work session,
Mhm.
then I think that would probably be where we need to start, where we need to go
And
from here.
who would you like who would you like to designate as the individual to work on that work session agenda?
Probably our auditor. She'd be with us.
Right?
She'd be
Well,
present.
I guess
anyways.
I'm clarifying. I'll work with Amanda on the talking points of the agenda. So that because one of my concerns is we wanna keep this very organized. A work session and not just go haywire, because we're getting off the talking points. That's the point I was trying to make. I've been at many of those types of joint meetings where the gavel has to be used,
Mhm.
not on somebody, but to clear the meeting. Cause it can get it kind of a heated.
Yeah.
All right, I will work with Amanda and we'll try to set up a date. It's sooner than later.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
that's fine.
All right. Moving on, consider renewal of 2080 agreement with Franklin County Conservation for the Naturalist Program.
I'll let Adam, go ahead. He needs to.
No, I don't need to leave.
Oh, I thought you needed to.
No, go ahead.
Sorry. I don't know if he emailed you the 2080 agreement or not ahead
Yes,
of
he
time.
did.
Jeremiah did, or Amanda did.
Amanda did.
It's basically the same.
That's
They
it.
got on a different insurance. So the actual contract has gone down on the insurance side, but she had a little increase in pay. The other aspects of it, 2080 has stayed all the same. So
And that's a shared position with Franklin County.
that's a shared position with Franklin County.
The same naturalist.
Same naturalist, which is kind of a record for us here as of late.
Yeah, to keep on that long is good.
You're gonna do this year to year.
Year to year, yeah.
It's not gonna,
No. And she's an employee of Franklin County, so.
but what's the total cost for us?
$36,929.
Yeah, 36,929. If you want a copy of the 2080, I can have, or you can. Yeah,
Yeah.
correct. Sorry,
There we have it.
May I have one from you?
we got the one
I'll do two, sign, the Jen and I have to sign two.
that. No, the board chairman.
Will you
and-
give me a copy of it to put upstairs?
Sure.
I would make a motion to, renew the 28E agreement with Franklin County concerning the naturalist position.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the 2080. All those in favor? All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I'm gonna fill the rest of it out of you.
We can, I remember that. My name, Ryan just built small trees.
Okay. Item number 7. Review and consider approval of purchase agreement for real property at 1991 Highway through Clarion, Iowa.
So you have the purchase agreement in front of you, the county attorney and I and the seller put this
Email.
into play. Do you need it? Do you need a copy? I built some trees back. I built some trees.
Okay.
I need a copy.
Oh, sorry.
I need a copy.
There's a lot of trees out there, it'll be okay.
I figured it wouldn't be that bad.
It's an ash tree anyway.
Oh, yeah, there you go. You did it.
Oh. Okay,
So this is the purchase agreement for the property that's stated 1991 Highway 3 Clarion, for energy building. They did formally accept our, bid for the building. And that will go obviously public, and so will the closed sessions, video of all this if this is approved. So, there's 2 items, I wanna bring to your attention on, page 5. There is a lease agreement for the large propane tank on the, property that will leave in place. There is another lease agreement on the above ground diesel tank, with a company. We will have them, cancel that lease, cause we do a rack price
Mhm.
on our fuel. I did reach out and, to Eric and to the, CEO of Prairie to discuss if it'd be okay if I contacted that company after the fact, and offered them the ability to maybe do another lease just so they understand and then, but do the over rack price that was bid here in the next couple of weeks. So I have a few bids on my desk right now that I have not opened because we're waiting for the bid date on that. So we'll make that offer to them. If they deny it, we'll figure out fuel another way out there.
Mhm.
Anything else? I mean, it's pretty boilerplate besides those 2 other items that we reviewed the leases on those and
Yeah,
made the adjustments that way.
Possession date is.
September 1st.
That was as bid. It had changed a couple times. They were
Yeah.
thinking that they were gonna go earlier. But that was the original bid and we worked it out with them to, they've had a few construction, scheduling hiccups, if
And
you wanna call them that.
if we were to violate that September 1st, is there provisions for what happens? If they're not moved out by.
Yeah,
Their building
we would
isn't
need to
done.
probably, I don't know if there's any language in there with that.
just
I
very
don't-
general language.
Yeah,
Like if.
what would happen,
Sooner?
I guess.
Is that what you're saying?
No, if they're
If
still.
they're still there, if their building isn't done.
That would be a county attorney question. I'm not.
That's never.
Sorry. I actually like to use that around because I.
The general, consequence would be that would give us the right to, void the contract if we chose to, or if there were damages that resulted because of expenses, additional expenses we had, theoretically, we'd be, right, we would pay those. And that would be alternative, I think. There's nothing otherwise very specific as far as liquidated damage, or anything like that in there, et cetera.
Don't see it. I'll just leave it at that. My opinion doesn't matter. So. We will need to do, obviously an amendment to move money around in my budget for this after, but we have plenty of time. Sorry, yeah, I shouldn't be talking to them when I say amendment, I should be talking to you. Yeah, so, but the money is there and then we'll review the carryover and see if there's the additional needed.
Mhm.
So we'll make that.
Okay, so just go over for me one more time. I looked at item 5, but I didn't find.
Page 5.
Page 5.
Page 5.
Page 5.
Page 5.
Page 5.
Top of the page,
Yep,
propane tank,
so
A.
that will stay there and
Large one.
the late lease will,
Continue.
we will hope to renew that with the.
It goes till, ending
27.
2027.
Right.
So, yeah,
And then,
so they rent a diesel barrel from W&H. We don't normally do that.
Right.
We do over rack price. We own
Yeah.
our own barrels.
yeah,
The state law requires if you rent a barrel, that you have to buy from the rent company.
okay,
You have to buy your diesel from them.
okay,
So we don't do that. We do the rack price, so we own our own. So we get a good price on the state rack price.
But I think.
so if we can't, I guess my question is, if we can't come to terms with them on a rack price, or they match the low or.
Yeah.
Something, then, they would remove that tank, I assume,
They wouldn't if we don't come to any agreement, yes, they would remove the tank.
okay,
Yeah, and then we would make other necessary adjustments.
and it's an above ground tank,
Correct.
Okay.
1,000 gallons, I do believe.
okay. Got it,
I figure that it's just probably good business to give them the opportunity. I already gave them the heads up that says, hey, we're gonna have you terminate the lease, but we'll give you a rack price shot at it, whatever our bid is, and if you wanna renew, we can renew.
Okay.
It's just. If they say no, then we'll figure it out.
I was just looking at the legal, former railroad right of way, but it is now. It's part of the property now, correct, I mean, it was, that right of way was terminated.
I think this is gonna be a really good asset for our secondary roads department. I think it's gonna give us flexibility with our other
There.
buildings that, where we're tight on space or where we're renting space somewhere else, that we'll be able to move all together and create some space that it will be more usable for county.
The other item is probably gonna say, or help another department not have to do another building,
Correct.
I mean,
Yeah,
so.
which is huge.
Okay, so what do you need from us?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the purchase agreement for real property at 1991 Highway 3, Clarion, Iowa.
That's
Second,
what I need.
So I'd just like to make a statement. We just spent over half hour talking about being fiscally responsible for $200. I don't think that was the amount. Now we're gonna spend $802,000 for a building. Is this a necessity or just a want?
I felt that we had determined that before we placed our bid.
I
Did
think
you not?
I made that. I think I stated that during our closed session, that I didn't know if this was fiscally responsible to spend this kind of money. Okay, I just wanted to
Motion.
bring that up, so there's a motion on the floor.
There's a second also.
Mhm.
All those in favor?
Okay, I have a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor?
Uh,
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Get that signed one and then. Maybe it's.
Okay, item number 8, safety committee, Peggy, Dunhover and Adam. Review and consider estimate to install exterior cameras in the courthouse.
We were working with Andy Flagg, I don't know when there used to be cameras, correct? On the courthouse, you can probably give a little bit better background on that, then they got taken down,
Unhooked.
unhooked, okay.
Unhooked.
and the tree got taken down.
Well, no, there's one by my office too.
Oh, there is?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there,
For the
The one on the southeast corner used to overlook the entire parking lot.
Right.
So it's caught in a few accidents, you know, like snow plows hitting cars.
We don't do that.
No, they don't do that. We don't do that.
Anymore.
We do not do that.
It was my car. But
That was an oops, Peggy.
I downloaded that video.
You probably
I
did.
said that was fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like our parking lot is a huge liability issue. For multiple reasons. We've had cars stolen out of our parking lot in my years.
Mhm.
We've had, we even caught a car being stolen across the street even. That one time, but I feel like not having the parking lot covered is a huge liability along with, I
Or
suppose.
slips and falls.
Yeah, trip slips and falls with the public.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We're just having eyes on our doors.
So
Right.
this wouldn't just cover the parking lot though, this would
This would,
cover the all four corners, right?
yes.
Yeah.
And, were they able to, the people who gave us the bid, were they able to give us an idea, does that give us
Yeah.
complete coverage?
Yeah, with these fisheye cameras, it'll actually give a 360. It can actually go 360, but because the building's right there, you're only gonna
Yeah,
270 or whatever you wanna call it, but it stitches it together so you can actually see a nice,
okay,
so it's not just.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if
weird
it was like a
blended.
one that
You
moved.
can move
or
it, I do
if
believe,
it was
that
just.
might be a question for Andy, but, it does stitch it together. We are doing the same thing out at our engineer's office too. To go away from our UFI system to get onto this, onto the countywide system so that ours, it's on the same camera system.
my last question is there any kind of discount that we get from our insurance company? Because we would have this, are you aware of
Good question.
anything like
That'd
that?
be a question on Thursday.
That'd be a good question for
Very good,
everybody on Thursday.
And if it's a situation where you wanna find that out before, you can
I
table
take
this.
it all back.
And if this is a situation where you wanna find that out before making this decision, then table that motion, or, and I have a feeling you're gonna ask budgeting wise, cause I don't, that's why we brought it from before you, cause the second safety committee does not have,
Andy? Or
I don't think this was Andy's budget, this was,
We asked him. to do
we asked
this.
him and
The safety committee asked him. to do
Yeah.
this.
just to get the
so I think
quote,
that's Board's budget.
yeah.
Yeah,
If it-
we're under the board.
So,
How soon do you think this would be installed? When will it, I mean, we are in May,
They're
we'll be
starting-
June 1st here. I mean, is it 30 days?
Andy? can you ask or answer the question of timeline?
They're kind of their budget.
Yeah,
Like,
Or-
okay,
yeah. Yeah.
So for continuity and knowing where stuff is paid out of, do you want it to be for safety or do you want it to be out of IT? Since it'll be the new fiscal year.
We're gonna do a budget amendment anyway.
Yeah, well,
Sorry.
yes. So,
Spicy.
mainly when you try to find something later on, like 2, 3, 4 years from now, you try to figure out, okay, what did we pay? Well, who was a company, whatever. Is it easier to find it if it's under IT or whether it's the safeties, you know, it's unusual that safety is going, safety department or the county, but supervisors would pay for something.
Where's our other cameras? I think
I think all cameras are under IT.
IT,
Well, the start of this, the camera system was under safety.
correct,
I
yes.
mean, that,
The
the
original camera.
genesis of it was under safety.
Yeah.
I don't know if we need to readjust that and make it under safety and, or figure out a way to put not really a safety line item, but a description of, under IT.
Project.
Yeah, maybe just
Yeah,
a
under
project code
safety.
under IT for safety.
Mhm.
That way you could maybe catch it both ways, IT safety and see it,
Yeah, I
so.
think, because it's gonna be in the new fiscal year, I
Yeah.
believe that. And this is a great thing because there's a lot of stuff that happens around the courthouse. Even on Highway 3. On the
Actually,
streets
there was an
around.
incident a couple weeks ago across the street that
There's been a couple of
they
across the street.
wish that they would be better packing.
Yeah,
Catch, so.
yeah,
Well, I think even with all the new events that we're hosting or
Correct.
allowing people
use the
Okay.
courthouse yard.
The courthouse yard,
Right,
I
yes.
feel like
Yes,
when we're not here especially.
Mm-hmm,
I definitely think it's prudent to have.
very much so.
I would say under IT was a project. That's.
I think that's all the best, so. Andy, I don't know if you heard that, we're thinking IT under a safety project code.
All those.
Yeah, just that.
Sounds good, thank you, Andy. Would you like a motion?
Yeah, I think we put consider on there.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve the estimate for central lock security on the exterior cameras.
I have one question before we look for a second. Andy, you've worked with this company before?
Mhm.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, and in the engineer's office, we actually ran all the wiring for them, so they all they gotta do is just go to a corner of the building and put the pedestal on. And the camera.
I'm sorry, Lynn, I think I
I
interrupted.
just seconded it, yeah.
In the amount of $6,732.
I have a motion and a second to, approve the estimate for the exterior cameras on the courthouse. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Do I need to sign anything? Or no?
That would be for,
I have it.
Okay,
the auditor.
Okay.
I would, if you do sign it, if I get a copy back to, Andy, just so he know, cause I gave him a copy of mine,
Oh,
so he
this.
can make the order, so. I think
I meant-
she was.
not this one. I meant the,
Oh,
okay. I'll sign this one. Okay, item number 9, consider going into closed session pursuant of Iowa Code 21.5, parentheses 1, parentheses I, to evaluate the professional competency of an individual whose appointment, hiring, performance, or discharge is being considered when necessary to prevent needless and irreparable injury to that individual's reputation, and that individual requests a closed session.
I'll make a motion consider going into closed session.
Second,
I have a motion and a second by roll call votes. Dean, Rick,
Aye.
Lynn,
Uh,
Betty,
Aye.
Ashley, chair votes aye. We'll be in closed session at 10:14.
So you can. And you can.
Okay. Welcome back. No action taken within closed session. Item number 10, consider resolution 2026-16 resolution approving amendment to engineer's employment contract and agreement.
Oh, move.
second,
I have a motion and a second to approve the amendment, to approve the resolution by roll call vote. Dean,
aye.
Rick,
Aye.
Lynn.
Aye.
Betty,
Aye.
Ashley votes aye. Motion carries.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Am I signing this one or do I need to sign a different one?
Whatever one, I would do the one that's not, stapled. Yeah, if you would.
Okay.
I gotta sign it too, so. The last page of the contract is signed by everybody.
And that'll be somewhere eventually.
I know to just scan it and have it on my server, and then the auditor's office has a copy also.
Perfect. Okay, old business.
Well, I guess that'd be under new business, I'm sorry.
New business.
Frank, help me out, Betty. What's Frank's last name?
Salvatore.
Salvatore, our,
Russian wheat control.
Russian
Oh,
weed
mhm.
control person that we hired.
TBB.
Yeah. I don't-
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But yes.
They started their work and, when
Well,
they
this
got,
would probably be for drainage.
pardon me?
This would be for drainage.
This is just an update on meetings.
Oh, okay, excuse
This
me.
is good. Go ahead. No, you can.
I just wanted to inform the rest of the board that, I was notified by the auditor's office, who I think probably had been notified by Frank himself. And, then I received a phone call from Kathy Radke, and then, eventually I spoke with Jim Radke concerning, them spraying on, and worried about damage to their property.
Oh, to like crops?
Not to crops, to, some trees. In February,
Within a main open ditch.
yes, main open ditch in DD 14. So just north of the, cemetery area. Back in 2021, we paid damages, the drainage district paid damages for trees that were, cut down, along with that damages, there was a letter that was drafted by myself and run through the drainage attorney, David Johnson at the time, stating that, we are paying these damages, however, don't plant trees, within 35 feet of the edge of the ditch bank, because we need to have a clear area to be able to go in there and do any kind of, maintenance, so, well, I went out and walked the property with Kathy. Jim again was not present. But Kathy was there with me, and we walked the tire tracks and the four-wheeler. I've got a list of the chemical that was sprayed. When I talked to the operator, he said that he sprayed towards the drainage ditch, towards the ditch. So, I explained that to Jim when I spoke to him, and, if there are damage claims, I guess I'll go out and look at the damage and determine whether or not that is, something that should be, considered by the drainage trustees or not. I just wanted all of you to know what, transpired.
And he is working today up in northwest part of Wright County. And I'm gonna give him a call after this and just go up and see what they're doing, how they're doing it, what they're working on. Kind of see what they're finding out there, so. Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
Update on meetings.
Oh, excuse me. I have. Midas on Wednesday and CFR on Thursday.
At Central Iowa Detention last Friday, and I've got our annual meeting for UDMO tonight.
We have a new director,
Yes,
Central Iowa.
so. Can't remember her name, but I was looking up. She's been there for a number of years. She's doing a very good job.
So she had worked underneath
Mhm.
the previous director,
Yep.
Tony, right?
Tony
Yeah.
Reed.
Okay. I have a motion to adjourn. Do I have a
Did
second?
we have anything for landfill?
Oh, yeah.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor? All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We're adjourned. And we will convene as drainage trustees. Motion, second. Pay attention.
Well,
Signature.
when is next meeting, right? Can you
Oh.
unmute us and tell, we are unmuted.
Yeah.
Mark, we'll go into our, serving as drainage trustees now. We have separated those two.
The meetings are always on Monday.
Yeah, but our meetings are usually always on Mondays, like our board of supervisors meeting.
Is every week?
What's that?
Not that one we did.
Is it every week? Every Monday?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Unless a holiday lands on the Monday, and then it will be
Right.
on the.
All right. I'll I'll try and get there next week, but it's just, I got so much stuff going on right now. Oof.
It's always.
So
Are
I'm the
you-
new managing editor for the
Yeah,
Wright
it's
County
also-
Independent. So yeah.
Okay. But so going from this way, that's Dean, Rick,
Yep. Hello. Hi,
Ashley, Lynn,
Ashley. Yeah. Yep.
and then
Hello.
Betty's on the far end.
Okay. All right. It's nice to meet all of you. I look forward to seeing you in person. So,
Very
all
nice.
right.
Nice to
Thank
meet
you.
Thank you.
Yep. All right. Bye-bye.
Right. Is he included on the emails? Agenda emails?
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Adam. Okay.
Thank you,
Have a
Adam.
good week.
You too.
You too, thank you.
Okay, we will now convene as drainage trustees. Do I have approval of the tentative agenda?
So move.
Sorry.
I have a motion and a second to approve the agenda. All those in favor? Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Minutes of the last meeting.
We have two, actually.
Oh, yes, minutes,
Yes.
meetings, yep.
The first one. Bear with me, it's kind of long. May 18th, 2026. The Wright County Board of Supervisors met in regular session as trustees of the drainage districts with the following members present. Rasmussen, Cluse, Bosch, Lukes, and Ellis via Zoom. Also present were Amanda Meyer, auditor, and Courtney Morris, drainage administrator. Other interested parties via Zoom were Van Mitchell, Robert Watts, Michael, Tyler Buman, engineer with Agravia, and Jacob Hagan, engineer with Agravia. Chairperson Bosch called the meeting to order at 9:37 a.m. Motion by Clues and seconded by Lukes to approve the tentative agenda with item number 7, the 9:30 JDD conference call on 2026 drainage assessments with Webster County, being tabled until 9:15 a.m. on Tuesday, May 19th, 2026. Motion carried. The conference call with Humboldt County trustees was held at 9:37 a.m. Present on conference call were Humboldt County Supervisors Reimers, Rasmussen, Carpenter, Thompson, and Peterson. Also present were Erickson, auditor, Stufflebeam, drainage clerk, and Colin Klingbeil, engineer with Jacobson Westergaard and Associates. Wright County Chairperson Bosch called the joint meeting to order. Clue stated that the engineer's report that was presented for the informational meeting previously included annexation. There have been multiple email exchanges between the engineer, drainage administrator, and Clues that we will not be doing the annexation. Clues asked the engineer if he intends to update the report and maps prior to the public hearing, as they include the annexation. Klingbeil stated that he intends to do an amendment to the engineer's report prior to having any formal hearing. Motion by Wright County Clues and seconded by Humboldt County Carpenter to receive the JDD 162-7 engineer's report as a tentative plan and direct engineer to prepare a pre-classification. Motion carried. Motion by Clues and seconded by Rasmussen to adjourn the joint meeting. Motion carried. Jacob Hagan and Tyler Buman, engineers with Agravia, presented their engineer's report on DD 169. The report includes a lateral 1, lateral 2, and extension of the main with an estimated project cost of $1,257,000. Motion by Clues and seconded by Rasmussen to receive the DD 169 engineer's report. Motion carried. Minutes of the previous meeting on May 11th, 2026 were read and approved. Motion by Clues and seconded by Lukes to approve drainage claims for payment. Motion carried. There were 5 work orders that were reviewed and previously approved. First one for DD 191, section 19 of Iowa Township, as a blowout on an 18-inch tile. The second one for DD 63 in section 7 of Blaine Township as a blowout on a 14-inch tile. Third one is DD 84 Main, section 4 of Grant Township, 4 blowouts along 14-inch tile. Fourth one is DD 177 lateral B south, section 33 of Blaine, reported as a tile blowout. And DD 128 section 10 of Iowa Township, reported as 2 tile blowouts. Morris presented the following drainage invoices. First one for Mausium Construction for DD 70 for Lake Section 7 for $2,722.96. The next one for Henniger Construction for DD 77 Main in Belmont, Section 17 for $6,827. And the last one for Henniger Construction for DD 136, Lake Township, Section 35 for $896. Morris presented the following 2026 joint assessments. JDD 113 for Wright, 5 with Humboldt, total levied $5,214.79, with Wright County share being $2,138.06. JDD 162 Wright, 7 Humboldt, total levied $7,261.93. Wright County share is $1,307.15. JDD 135 Wright, 59 Hancock, total levied is $1,500. Wright County share is $212.70. JDD 145 Wright, 61 Hancock, 1 Cassuth, total levied $4,500. Wright County share is $74.70. JDD 147 Wright, 70 Main Tile Hancock, total levied is $5,000, with Wright County share being $539. JDD 121 Wright, 54 Hancock, total levied is $641.70, with Wright County share being $416.53. JDD 139 Wright, 73 Hancock, total levied is $1,823.93, with Wright County share being $966.68. And JDD 118 Wright, 4 Franklin, total levied is $2,012.29. Wright County share is $342.09. Motion by Clues and seconded by Rasmussen to approve the joint drainage district assessments with Humboldt, Hancock, Cassuth, and Franklin County in 2026. Motion carried. The trustees went into recess at 10:04 a.m. The trustees returned at 10:16 a.m. from recess. Morris presented the 2026 drainage districts eligible to spread for Iowa Code 468.57 for no less than 10 and no more than 20 years. The board then reviewed and took action on the following 13 eligible districts, spreading each of them per the Iowa Code. They were all spread at 10 years for DD 7, DD 10, DD 29, DD 31, DD 36 lateral 1 sub A, DD 36 lat C, DD 46 petition 2025 radar, DD 58, DD 62, DD 76, DD 106, DD 162, and DD 169. Motion by Clues and seconded by Rasmussen to spread each eligible district for 10 years for the 2026 drainage district assessments. Motion carried. Morris presented the 2026 drainage district assessments. The amounts of administrative fees calculated at 3% and $5 per tract that would be collected this assessment year were also presented. Then there's the entire list of everything that is being assessed for this year. Motion by Rasmussen and seconded by Ellis to approve the 2026 drainage district assessments as submitted. Motion carried. Morris explained a change order for DD 62, which changes part of the DD 62 open ditch repairs project. The order is for a partial clean out or dipping of approximately 2.5 miles of the open ditch on the lower end. Clean out would remove accumulated silt, improve water flow, and allow excavated material to be reused for necessary repairs once dried, reducing the need to haul in additional soil. The original estimated project cost was $82,443, and the estimated project cost with change order is $100,000. Motion by Rasmussen and seconded by Lukes to approve change order number 1. Motion carried. Morris presented and explained a draft beaver dam removal work order and a draft updated beaver trapping form for trustee review and possible action. Ellis asked if there would be continued rules added that tails need to be individually bagged in the rules we had before. Morris responded that those rules, how to bring in the tails and how to package them, can be added to the form as they will still apply. The process can be reviewed at a later date after seeing how things are going to discuss tails being brought to the Wright County Conservation Office instead of the auditor's office. Motion by Clues and seconded by Rasmussen to approve the beaver dam removal work order and the updated beaver trapping form with the addition of the rules as mentioned. Motion carried. Motion by Rasmussen and seconded by Clues to adjourn the meeting. Motion carried.
Whew.
Wow.
Any additions or corrections on that one?
All of it.
Those ones will stand approved as read. The next meeting.
Okay, the next meeting was May 19th, 2026. The Wright County Board of Supervisors met in special session as trustees of the drainage districts, with the following members present: Rasmussen via Zoom, Clues, Bosch via Zoom, and Lukes via Zoom. Also present were Courtney Morris, drainage administrator. Chairperson Bosch called the meeting to order at 9:17 a.m. Motion by Rasmussen and seconded by Cluse to approve the tentative agenda. Motion carried. A conference call of Webster County trustees was held. Present on conference call were Webster County Supervisors Conrad, Hyatt, Cochran, Thode, and Montgomery. Also present were Plaguey, drainage clerk. Wright County Chairperson Bosch called the joint meeting to order. Motion by Cluse and seconded by Rasmussen to adjourn the joint meeting. Motion carried. Oops, that's out of order. I will fix that. Morris presented the following 2026 joint assessment. JDD 46 Wright, 92 Webster, total levied $2,747.31. Wright County share being $2,060.48. Motion by Wright County Cluse and seconded by Webster County Thode to approve the 2026 joint drainage district assessment with Webster County. Motion carried. Motion by Wright County Cluse and seconded by Webster County Hyatt to adjourn the joint meeting. Motion carried.
So it's probably a motion by Clute, second by Rasmussen to
That one
adjourn
goes all the way to the
our
end.
meeting, not to adjourn the joint meeting, just to adjourn.
Correct. Correct information is a strong spot.
Okay, perfect. Any other corrections to that one? Or additions?
And you'll remove the one right above it, right?
The motion by Cluse, seconded by Rasmussen to adjourn the joint meeting.
No, the Wright County Chairperson Bosch called the joint meeting to order. Oh, no, that one stays.
No, that one
doesn't it?
stays.
That one
That's the
stays.
joint. Okay, I'm sorry. I got it now. I got it. That one stays. This one moves down to the bottom.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Good to
it'll
go?
say to adjourn the meeting, not meeting.
Not to adjourn the, yeah. Okay, any other corrections to that one? Those ones will stand approved as corrected. Okay, drainage claims.
All right, we had 4 claims. They totaled $11,499.67.
Motion to approve.
Ready for the
Second.
yellow paper in there?
I have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor?
Alright. Alright.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Open forum for public input regarding drainage districts.
Okay, I have a couple of things. Frank Salvatore, our brush and weed control guy with TBV Spring, has contacted us this morning. He wanted to make sure he got a hold of us before this morning's meeting so I could share this information with you guys. They were heading over to do DD 10 and DD 10 lateral 1. They arrived, and from what they saw, he says it looks like that both of those haven't been treated in years. We did receive an invoice in 2022 and 2024 for both of those. And I did send him screenshots of both of those invoices with the notes. He did share a picture of that area on what they saw. And then they were at DD 214 lateral 1 is the next one that they were going to. That is the one that was supposed to be taken care of in 2024 by Hera, but he didn't have time to do it, so that one never got done. He did respond back on that one, Frank did, and said that that one actually wasn't that bad, which was nice to hear. He did say that they headed over to DD 121-54, and I believe that's where they're at right now. He says that he's not quite sure what Hera was doing when he was working on these ditches. He said that this ditch in particular was good until areas of thick brush, then looks like he just skipped the thick brush area. And he sent like 3 or 4 pictures of that, of trees all the way down in the ditch of brush.
121-54.
Oh, that's not this one.
I assume it's up with, yeah, Hardin, or Hancock County.
Not this one here.
Hancock, yep.
Yeah.
Cause there's some. Oh, I know.
So Betty, if you're going out to meet him to see his setup or anything like that, he did mention that he had spoke with you and that you wanted to go out and see his setup. possibly take a look at those areas as well, if they haven't already started working on them.
So will it be an additional cost?
DD 10 and DD 10 lat 1, he did say that that is quite a bit more than what he had bid on. So that was probably gonna be an extensive amount on top of what his estimate was, so. He was not gonna proceed until he heard anything more, and I said I would present it to you guys and possibly have somebody go out there and take a look at it with him.
We can't take action on that today, though.
No,
So
no, I would want one of you to go out there anyway.
that's frustrating.
Bid it, well. I know, and it's drainage is different because, you know, he bid a project and bid a price, and then. It's kind of like with Henniger's, they bid a project, went out, and then. It was way more. Should you hold them to it, or should it, is it like the one that you just said was way better than what you thought? You win some, lose some, I don't know, what the right.
To be
How much
extent,
more? Did he look at every ditch when he bid? Probably not.
no. And I wouldn't expect anybody bidding to go look at every single one of them at the time that we put that out for bid, for the year.
How much is he thinking, or
He
he
did
didn't
not
give you?
state, he just said it was a substantial amount.
Where is DD 10, do we know?
DD 10 is Carl Roberts. Just saying, not that I know by any means. It's
Well, I mean-
like this whole right through here.
So you and Lynn,
Um,
I feel like you.
and that is, DD 10 is mostly US Fish and Wildlife, just saying.
And I will say, when we started doing the whole contract that we did this last time, so this is the second year that we've done it. We started that because there was a concern on whether or not Hara was actually completing the work, because he was not only doing Wright County, he was doing Franklin County. And a lot of times it was appearing that he was not even in the state most of the summertime. So that was a huge concern. That was also, I think, part of the reason why we started doing the drone flying of the ditches as well. On top of, to get a baseline for the ditch.
I don't feel like. We can say we have to hold you to it if it's really that bad.
Right.
Right.
You also don't want him to like leave and not do.
Right, because if he
Bid
act-
again, I mean, if
Right,
he's
right,
doing a
right.
good job, you want him
Yeah,
to stay.
if he's gonna do a good job and do it like it should have been done
It
originally.
might be a
we want him to
one-time
stay.
cost, and if he keeps
Mhm.
bidding, it's not gonna be like that.
Right. Well, no, it needs to be taken care of. I'm just saying is it,
I know.
is it per ditch, is his bid per ditch, or is his bid, what was it, like 40?
Per ditch.
I know, but was it 40 some thousand?
I think it was.
Can't remember the
The
total.
total of per ditch.
Sheet 10, this way,
I know.
here's Belmont,
Okay.
it's all of this here.
My recommendation, if there is additional work like he's suggesting that needs to be done, is. We have whatever he gave us an estimate on for what he planned to do, so general maintenance and whatnot. Anything that is above and beyond that, maybe we do a work order up on that, and instead of sending it out to one of our regular tile contractors, it would go to him.
Why don't you do a change order?
P16.
That we just.
We could.
yeah,
Change order for that.
and he can give us then an estimate, and
What's that?
he could then give us an estimate at that point. and-
We would wanna have an estimate.
Yeah.
You could have a change order. for this one.
And I did let him know that, any of these ditches that he does go to. I can pull up the previous invoices, and a lot of times, Hara was good about putting notes on there. He started. Kind of removing them when I started asking for the township and section, he replaced the comments with the township and section. So, after the contract started, it's kind of minimal on hit and miss on which ones there is, but I did tell Frank that I could send him those screenshots. So he would have those notes, and prepare when they get ready to go to that ditch.
That's to have come in and do a work order on that piece. That needs
A
to be
change
fixed.
order.
Change order.
Change
Yep,
order.
we can do a change order. I do want Betty or any of you to go out with him and
Yeah.
take a look at these though.
Anything else in open forum?
Dean, I think I caught the tail end of you mentioning the whole,
Yeah, I was
Issue
just
last week.
informing the board of Frank's, run-in with.
Is this the one down?
rat piece.
Right, he's, yeah.
That, I'm not sure.
I think we did kind of discuss about coming up with some kind of an ID card or something that Frank can carry with them. Just so if there's any confusion among landowners, he can show them that, you know, he's working on the drainage district for the contract and that he has the right ultimately to be there to be treating the ditches for us, so.
Yeah,
We can work on that. Hopefully this week and we can get that to him.
Betty also mentioned, those.
The clipboards?
Yeah, who needed them?
I have
Betty.
one.
I have Lynn,
I have one.
One.
otherwise the other three have them, so we only need two.
I thought you said you lost yours.
I'll find it.
He can't find it, he should have to buy his own because he had one.
I just want to have so much money.
Sure they got enough.
They're like $25 a piece,
They're not cheap.
not like regular old clipboards.
I don't charge mileage for one look at it either.
Okay, I think that's it for me for open forum anyways.
Okay, anybody else? Alrighty, review previous work orders that were submitted.
We had three. The first one is for Gene Telke. It was for DD 193 lateral 2 in section 25 of Wall Lake Township. It was reported as a blowout on a 12-inch tile. The next one was DD 4 Main, section 11 of Eagle Grove Township, reported by Thomas Gangstead as a surface drain broken. And the last one was DD 177, section 27 of Blaine, reported by Mike Whitholm as a blowout on a 16-inch tile.
Perfect. Okay. Review and sign any open drainage invoices.
We have 5 invoices. First one is for Mob Dam Construction. This was for DD 5 main open ditch that was reported by Roger Hop as a washout under 2 culverts on the west side of ditch bank. This came in at $8,651.99. The next one from KCON. This was actually a work order that was done in Hamilton County. This is for DD 133-188. And this was for a tile line that was broken in 2 spots, and that total came in at $892. The next one is for Troy Askelson for DD 52, section 22 of Lincoln Township, reported as a tile blowout on a 12-inch tile. And this came in at $215.
Who did that work?
But he
He
reported it and he did his own, he got us his own
Yep.
matching insurance requirements, so. Yep,
Was this, that was cheap.
yes,
I was gonna say, that's why it was,
yeah, that was a pretty good one.
would he be willing to do other tiles?
That I don't
I
know.
don't think so. Don't press it. Let's keep a good thing while we can.
Oh.
Next one was for KCON, for DD 149, section 19 of Wall Lake Township, reported by Darwin Jacobson. This is the cap existing buried intake near building site. This came in at $227. The next one is for KCON as well, for DD 105 lateral B in section 13 of Lake Township, reported by Kirk Disney, as multiple blowouts west southeast of section 13. And this came in at $519.75. And the last one is for mountain movers for DD 191, section 19 of Iowa Township. Reported by Kevin Hadley as a blowout on an 18-inch tile, and this came in at $880.
Perfect. Any questions, comments on those? Okay. Anything else before the drainage trustees?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. We are adjourned. Have a great day.